All right, so today we are diving into the world of Reddit relationship advice.
Oh, fun.
We asked you guys what you wanted to know about lasting relationships,
Yeah.
and you overwhelmingly wanted to hear from those in the trenches.
Makes sense.
So we're ditching the experts and going straight to the source, Reddit.
Love it. Raw and unfiltered. Should be interesting.
Right. We dug deep into this Ask Reddit thread that asked, what's the key to maintaining a strong and healthy relationship?
Okay.
And the response is, well, they did not disappoint.
I bet. Did they confirm all our preconceived notions about relationships?
Some. Honestly, the number one response, like hands down the winner, was no surprise, communication.
Yeah, communication is huge.
Yeah.
Makes sense this would be a popular answer. But I feel like communication is sort of the obvious answer, you know?
Totally. And a lot of the responses went deeper than just, talk to each other. Like user content Keanu talked about putting your ego aside and actually trying to see things from your partner's perspective.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, it's so easy to get defensive, but when you can really get where they're coming from, it changes things.
Oh, for sure. It's about really listening to understand, not just to respond.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it's not always easy. Like Yuvenitsio 101 pointed out, sometimes even when we think we're communicating well, our partner can still hear it as criticism,
100%.
Yeah.
It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. And honestly, how ready they are to hear it at that moment.
Totally. It's so true. We could honestly do a whole deep dive on just that, honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway, communication was definitely the MVP of this thread. But there are some other real gems in there.
Okay, like what?
One that really hit home for me was from You Shit-Faced Grizzly Bear, Gotta Love Reddit usernames.
The best.
They were talking about the importance of, learning to let the small stuff go.
Oh, choosing your battles.
Yes, exactly. Like obsessing over every little annoyance, that's a recipe for disaster.
It's so true. Holding on to resentment is just going to backfire.
And this kind of ties into what you, Final Funk, said about actively choosing to invest in your partner.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
How do they define investing?
Well, they were talking about being interested in their patterns, their well-being, their growth, basically being an active participant in each other's lives,
I like that. I love that.
And it's not about, like, losing yourself in the relationship or anything.
Yeah.
It's more like, are you genuinely interested in the things that make them tick?
Yeah, exactly. And, sometimes that investment is less about those big romantic gestures
Oh, totally.
and more about the smaller everyday things.
Yes.
Like, remember that comment from Svensson26? Making your partner feel like a priority?
Oh, yeah. They were talking about things like, just actually listening when they're talking.
Yes.
Asking their opinion on things.
Yes.
Not bailing on plans at the last minute.
Exactly.
It's like just those little things that show them that you value them.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
But showing them, not just telling them.
Right.
So are you ready for a hot take from the Reddit trenches?
Oh, boy.
Evelyn Parker says, and I quote, "Good sex."
Okay, well, we can't talk about relationships without mentioning the physical side, right?
True. Very true.
Yeah.
And, a healthy sex life usually means a healthy emotional connection too, right?
Yeah.
They go hand in hand.
For sure.
But, okay, besides all the comments about spicing things up,
All right.
there's this theme that I kept noticing throughout the entire thread.
Yeah, what's that?
Those foundational things.
Like what?
Respect, honesty, and trust.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
People emphasize those over and over again.
Yes. It's like you can have the best communication. You can be totally invested in each other's happiness.
Right.
But if you don't have those things, the whole thing just falls apart,
Oh, yeah, 100%. Those are non-negotiables.
Totally.
And it's not about just expecting them from your partner, right?
Right.
It's about embodying them yourself.
Oh, totally. It's a two-way street. Yeah, and that kind of made me think of that comment from you, JumpyAd561CN.
Okay, what'd they say?
They were talking about how it's not enough to just apologize when you screw up.
Oh, interesting.
Like, it's great to say sorry, but you have to actually change your behavior.
Yeah. Oh, that is so important.
Right. It's about taking responsibility and actually trying to be a better partner.
Absolutely. And that takes work.
Yes.
You have to look inward and be honest about your own stuff. You
Yeah.
know?
It's not always easy.
Definitely not.
And you know what? I think that's what makes these Reddit threads so interesting.
What's that?
Like, relationships are messy
The messiest.
and complicated, but it's kind of comforting to know that everyone's kind of going through the same stuff,
Totally. It's like we're all figuring it out together, which is kind of nice when you think about it.
Yeah, totally. It's like this big, messy support group.
Right. Misery loves company.
And hopefully, a little less misery with each lesson learned, right?
That's the goal.
That's the goal, exactly. But speaking of lessons learned, something else really struck me in that thread.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Just how many comments talked about choosing the right partner in the first place.
Ah, yes. Choosing your partner wisely from the get-go.
Exactly. Like you, Jackie, at home talked about how important it is to wait for the right person and not just settle because you feel like you have to or you're scared of being alone.
Oh, 100%. There's so much pressure these days to just be in a relationship, any relationship.
It's true. But going back to the thread, people were saying that, the strongest relationships are those where both people really get each other, where they share the same values, they respect each other's boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about finding someone who celebrates who you are and inspires you to grow at the same time.
Yes. So we've talked about a lot today.
We really have.
Let's see. Deep communication,
Hmm.
letting go of the small stuff, being invested in your partner.
Oh, and those core values. Respect, honesty, trust.
Yes. Can't forget those. And it seems like a lot.
It is a lot. Relationships take effort, plain and simple.
Right, exactly. But it's that conscious effort that makes all the difference.
Totally. It's about showing up every day.
Yes. Showing up even when it's hard.
Yes, because relationships can be tough.
For sure. But if we've learned anything from this deep dive into Reddit, it's that you're not alone.
Nope, not at all. We're all just out here trying to figure it out one day at a time.
So true. So as you go about your day, here's something to think about. What's one small step, just one, that you can take today to nurture the relationships in your life?
Love that. Food for thought.
We'll be back next time with another deep dive. Until then, happy connecting.